Hey, this is Pat Mastroianni from Degrassi, Joey Jeremiah, and you're listening to Droids Canada.
So, Dan.
Hello.
You don't have anything to say to our audience right now?
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
Well, maybe something.
You ever have that moment in life when you're halfway home and a turtle head starts poking?
They call that touching cotton.
Touching cotton.
Yes.
Yeah, if you accidentally did the brown note.
No, you see, with the new thing that I do now,
Yeah.
it is the most difficult thing in the world. You have to program yourself.
So what do you mean? Like, don't you just clench and hope for the best?
You have to hope for the best because there's no place to go.
No, well, that's not necessarily true unless there's a church nearby, right, Littlefoot?
Little feather.
Warning. Listener discretion is advised.
That means there's a lot of fucking swearing.
Hello.
We must unite the clans. Unite the clans. I think like the William Wallace of podcasting.
This is like very epic intro.
It is. We're going to battle.
Epic intro.
It is pretty cool. It's funny because that's going to be... There is an epic battle happening right now.
It makes me want to buy a sword.
With DC Comics. And that's going to be today's podcast. It's about DC Comics.
DC.
Oh, DC. Oh, no. That's literally all I have to say is, oh, no.
What does DC stand for?
I actually knew this, and I'm drawing a blank.
District of
Buy me some
Columbia?
time.
Buy me some time.
District of Columbia, eh?
I wouldn't say District of Columbia.
What'd you say?
I would say something comics. Discover Comics.
You going to take a shot at it?
I'm going to take a shot at it because I honestly have absolutely no
my
idea.
Goodness. Oh, my.
Something big comics that starts with a D.
I think it's something silly. I think it's pretty Detective Comics.
Detective?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because that was the first.
That was the first was Superman. That's right. Canadian
okay.
creation, by the way. Okay, so this week's...
Canada.
Canada. Of course, you listen to Droids Canada's with your host with the most, Todd, and of course with Dan.
Hello.
Dan,
Yes.
Where can they find us? Do you remember? Because it's been so long. He's looking for a card. He's scanning.
No. I'm not scanning for a card.
He's like, where can we find it?
You can find us
I even took the banner down. If you didn't notice.
You can find us on the Laughable Network.
Yep.
You can find us on Stitcher Radio.
Yep.
You can find us on iTunes.
Yep.
You can find us on Google Play.
Yep.
You can turn up the thing. You can find us on the Twitter. I still don't do that again.
At Droids
At
Canada.
droidscanada.com.
Facebook. At Droids Canada.
At Droids Canada.
Okay. What were we saying? Well, the Instagram, the _Droids _Canada.
Point of Interest Podcast Network.
Yep. You're right. You're right. Look at him go.
And there's still a few more.
Tangibound. And EMC, Electronic Media Collective.
That's a mouthful.
And Spotify.
All right.
Google Play.
Okay.
Did you say Google Play?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I don't know if you did or not. I just
did.
Out there.
You put me on the spot, and I think I
think you got most of them.
I think I got a good 70%.
I think we need to start doing that again. Doing the intro like that.
See, I don't know if we need to do the intro.
I mean,
because if you're listening to us, you know where to find it.
That's not true.
Really?
We're technically on the YouTubes as well. And that's the reason why we're not using copyrighted music anymore. We're just getting flagged everywhere. So I'm just going to stop doing the copyrighted music
Copyright.
stuff. I mean, it's kind of stupid because I can see the point of, well, you're using our music without your permission. I'm like, yeah, I get that.
But we're also promoting your
You're also promoting
song.
music. I mean, we do have a band that we are in work for something that we still have to remain nameless at this time.
Yes.
Who helped produce the intro of a potential new podcast.
Yes, I know.
Because of
Very
the cultural
exciting.
shift. So, Dan, I know it's been really hard to pay attention to pop culture because that has really taken a back seat in what's going on in the world
There's
right now.
been no pops.
There has been no pops. I've been buying Funkos. I got Lady Deadpool up there, and my 1989 Jack Nicholson Funko is on its way.
I thought you were done with the Funko.
I only collect Deadpool and Joker and Harley Quinns now.
I only have 2.
You have Farva, and you have Ramathorn.
No, I have those. I mean, 2 that are still in the box because those ones were in my car.
Who?
Rush.
Who? Rush?
Rush.
Oh, I sold mine. Yeah.
And Marty McFly.
Sold that too.
I'm pissed with the whole Rush Funko thing.
Why? Because they mass-produced it after we waited in line for 2 hours?
No, because it was a limited edition.
No, that one was stickered, though. That one still got value to it, though. The one that wasn't stickered has no value. It's just typical. It's the same one. I don't know. It's fucking stupid. Anyways, so this week, I have been focusing on a lot on the internet. I've been trying to keep myself very informed. There's a lot of things happening in the world right now, which we don't discuss.
No.
We made this decision a long time ago. Well, I did. That we won't discuss politics and kind of real events. Like, I realistically, I went back through the last 15 shows, and COVID was such a topic that
and
I feel like it just dragged out the whole...
Things start to kind of creep in as well, and this could be a nice escape to get away from it for 30 minutes.
Yeah, so that's what I kind of want this to be. I want people to listen to the show and go, yeah, it's been a long time. I miss seeing these guys at conventions, or I miss hearing about these guys being jackasses and shit. And we kind of want to get back to that. We want to get back...
Jackassery.
Because, like I said on the previous show last week, is that there's a cultural shift coming. And we are going to shift gears a little bit. We're still going to have the same show, but we're also going to be introducing a new show because that is going to be more of a topic because it's more of a conversation right now.
Correct.
With that said...
But now the conversation shifts to...
DC Comics.
DC Comics.
So I was told today, I went to my local comic book store, that is Big B Comics on Lundy's Lane in Niagara Falls.
Big B!
We have been friends, and actually we wrote articles for them at one point. But that just didn't go anywhere. So, I haven't been there in a long time, and you want to guess how much it cost me for my comics today?
How many comics did you get?
Okay, I've been there in 3 months. I would say at least 20.
You got 20 comics?
At least.
Okay.
I might be overshooting, though.
$82.75.
Very close. $80.67.
There you go.
There
that was
you
close.
Go. Fuck, that hurt.
And I don't even know how much a comic costs. I just picked that number out of the sky.
Well, comic books are more expensive.
$3.
No, they're more.
$4.
Because they want us to pay the difference on the American exchange now. Because they got upped on the American exchange too, so it's kind of like a trade-off. But anyways, I was talking to him about, I think there's another Joker comic coming, because I only collect certain things. I only collect Deadpool. Huge fan of Deadpool. I was collecting Walking Dead for a while, but done. Shout out to Andy Belanger. He was doing Southern Cross, but he hasn't done that in forever, so I haven't collected that in a long time. Batman. I collect all the Batman runs. I'm always going to be a fan of the Batman runs because I'm a Batman mark. Joker, anything, Harley Quinn, whatever. But anyways, I found out that I'm going to be saving a lot of money in the future. It appears that there is an issue with Diamond, which is a mass producer and distributor of comic books in the area, between themselves and DC. So that's going to be a huge issue in the sense of that we won't be getting DC Comics for a very long time. Think of that. Especially in this era, not a good time to not be producing.
But that is unless you pay for it with their app.
Well, that's one thing they're pushing for.
So they're doing the WWE network?
To a degree, I think.
Disney Plus?
It's kind of messed up in the sense of how they're doing it, in the sense of this. It's like they want the company. So if you're a comic book store owner, you're already paying X amount of dollars to have Diamond ship it to you. And then on top of it, DC wants you to pay another premium on top of that. Because they're seeing a shortfall. Like there's, oh my God.
What happened?
Something happened today.
What happened?
On this day.
What?
On this day 3 years ago. I'm going to play it.
Oh, dear Lord.
It's going to bring back Batman.
Am I going to be embarrassed?
It's about you.
Oh, shit.
Okay, Dan. Go through the drive-thru, Dan. Yes.
Oh, no.
We are now into the McDonald's drive-thru. Shane!
They've done all-day breakfast for 3 years?
Now we're actually going to record this. It is midnight for all-day breakfast.
Fuck.
It's been 3 years since they launched all-day breakfast. So what happened was me and Dan were literally in the middle of a podcast recording, and I looked down and said, all-day breakfast? He's like, sure. So we paused the podcast, and we literally recorded us in the car ordering it, and I was playing the Shane Bell from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I think I crushed like 3 or 4 sausage McMuffins.
You are a fat fuck.
Yep.
Anyway, so back on topic. I just saw that. But the point is that now you're putting the comic book store owners in a bad position. Like, should we carry DC? And now it sounds like no one's going to carry DC. And that's going to be a huge blow to me because if you just listen to what I told you I collect one thing, Marvel. That's it.
Everything else is,
Everything else is DC.
Do you think that could be a good intro to independent comics?
It could be. I mean, you have a lot.
Because you got to fill the shelves.
You do have a lot of good companies out there. You have Studio Comics, personal friend of ours, that have a lot of comics.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Source Point Press, obviously a friend of the show as well. They do very well for themselves. I don't know what the future holds for DC, but I do know that's the one negative. Okay, we'll talk about. So that's pretty much done. So I don't know how that's going to shape out yet. We're going to find in the next couple of weeks. I think it was the vice president or co-vice, whatever it is, of Diamond did this whole rant. I posted on Droids Canada's page, just if you want to read it.
DroidsCanada.com.
It's on Facebook.
Facebook.
So with that said, there's been a change in a lot of things in the movie industry right now because of COVID. Not a single movie's come out.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's on the back burner. So at this time this year. Actually, 2 weeks ago, we should have been watching Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman 1984.
And it looks fucking glorious. There's other things I could push.
Hopefully it was better than the first one.
I actually didn't mind the first one until the ending.
I loved it when it was called Captain America.
Oh, Jesus.
Same movie.
It's not.
Okay.
It's really not.
World War II, go against the Nazis.
Yeah. Who doesn't like punching a Nazi?
Everyone loves punching a Nazi.
I play Call of Duty not for the story. I go there to kill the Nazi zombies. Everyone does that.
No, I find there's a lot of similarities. Wonder Woman was a good movie.
It was a fantastic movie. So a long time ago,
but it didn't have. Wonder Woman did not have the bad guy from Walking Tall.
The bad guy from Walking Tall.
Yeah, the Rock version.
Oh yes.
With a nice mustache and hat. Okay, continue.
Are you sure?
100%.
Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay, so. The movies, the DC universe tried being rebooted, which you remember.
Yes.
They had Man of Steel, and then they had Batman vs. Superman, which, in my opinion, was a good movie.
Fescue?
Yes,
lots of fescue.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Tall grass.
Yeah, because they were trying to depict it. I get that. But then, a lot of people got pissed off because of Justice League. Now...
All right.
So what happened with Justice League is that Zack Snyder's daughter committed suicide, blah, 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 so he had to remove some from the project. At that time, Warner Brothers was not owned by AT&T yet. So Warner Brothers said, I'm looking at the formula that's been happening with Marvel, and it's working. Marvel's making a ton of money. And they're like, we got to get Joss Whedon here, because Joss Whedon did Avengers, and Avengers Age of Ultron. They're making all these huge sales. Like, maybe we should start doing... It's like they wanted to be the next Marvel. In the sense of the movie industry, the MCU. They wanted their own MCU, DCU, whatever.
Yeah.
So they're like, we're going to make it comedic. Now, in my life, short of the 1960s Batman with, what's his name?
Adam West, thank
you. Batman's not funny. He's brooding.
Yes.
He's a brooding, sad, miserable character.
Lots of psychological problems.
He admits he's fucked up.
Yeah.
He had a lot of tragedies happen to him. So you take Batman vs. Superman, it was dark and it was gritty, and you got to see, in my opinion, the battle between him and Superman was pretty good. I don't care what anyone says about that. I mean, there's a lot of things cut out from the original comic book. Fine, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be the first one to admit it. I shit on Ben Affleck. I shit all over him when they casted him. I thought he was a bad fucking idea, and I started the whole Batfleck trending on Twitter, and I was just fucking like, this movie's dead in the water, and then they signed Gal Gadot. See, I like Jamie Alexander, who was, she was in Thor. She was the female lead with Thor in the original movie. I don't remember what her character name was for the life of me right now. But anyways, she's big. She's like an Amazon-style person. Mm-hmm. Look at Gal Gadot, I'm like, you don't strike me as someone to be Wonder Woman. See, and that's the fanboy in me, okay? Mm-hmm. Which we're all guilty of. I'm sure you had a moment, and at least one moment in your life that you're like, that's not canon, right?
Canon.
I mean, any of the Star Wars post the original trilogy.
Yeah, but I sit through a movie to enjoy it, not to look into the backstory and the canon.
And that's my problem, and I admitted that. And then when I saw Batman vs. Superman, I went, wait a minute. This actually... Okay, the casting's really on point. What was I thinking? And I enjoyed the film. Then Justice League happened, and you had the whole thing with Zack Snyder's daughter, blah, blah, blah. Bring in Joss Whedon. They tried to make that movie funny. That movie should not be funny. And they also removed who the main villain was. The main character was Darkseid. Or Darkseid, any way you want to call it. No, we're going to make it Steppenwolf. Okay, Steppenwolf was an underling. So why would you do that? Batman vs. Superman set the table, saying, Darkseid, the ultimate, best way to put it to you, because you're more of a Marvel fan, right?
Yes, 100%.
Apocalypse.
Okay.
Their version of Apocalypse. Okay? So you have this set up. You take a whole movie. You're setting the table. You're getting everything ready because you know Justice League is going to be now the new Avengers. And now you're going to have a 3-part of Justice League Avengers series. With me?
Yes.
Then Joss Whedon comes in and goes, nah, we need it to be fun and funny and colorful. Take away the broodiness of it.
Ragnarok.
Thank you. But Ragnarok worked.
Yes.
And that wasn't Joss Whedon who directed it either.
Well, that's also because of the roller coaster that is Marvel.
Correct.
Serious movie, funny movie. Serious movie, funny movie. That's the model they've gone through.
And that's not saying that Kevin Feige's not doing a good job. He's doing a very good job in this production.
Doing an exceptional job.
Doing an acceptable job. One can argue Avi Arad was better.
But just quickly, though, do you think it's because people know the story of Superman? People know the story of Batman. People know the story of Wonder Woman more than they know the story of Iron Man. And more than they know the story of Ant-Man. Yet... This is something that might be a little bit new and a little bit fresh. You know Superman's going to fight Lex Luthor. You know Batman's going to fight the Joker. You know that's the lore of the story.
But following that same synopsis then, Marvel also made a lot of mistakes. The original Spider-Man trilogy is the shining example that their mistakes were made.
The Tobey Maguire.
First movie was good. First movie was brilliant.
Exceptional.
Especially William Dafoe as Green Goblin.
Amazing.
Like, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, you can't, magnifique, you're done. Second movie, you're like, this works. There's nothing that can go wrong.
Until the third movie.
And the third movie is what shows you what happens when you're able to make your movie and then when the studio execs get involved.
Yeah. You need to do this, you need to do this, you need to have this. Okay, let's put in a dancing scene.
Yeah.
And the edgy eye makeup.
And you think DC would have known better. They went through the same thing with the original Batman series. You had Batman Returns, glorious films. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Like the
Michael Keaton.
Oh, Michael Keaton? I enjoyed those movies, but not even close to the
Nolan series.
Okay,
forget
I will
about the
still
Nolan series.
put the Nolan series as my favorite comic book movies of all time.
Okay.
They're amazing.
But would you say that the Michael Keaton Batman series was more fitting to the Batman that you know?
Yes.
Okay. Because this is where it goes downhill. Then you had your next movie, which is Batman Forever.
With the Penguin.
And that's when the toy company comes in and goes, we need it more colorful. We need to sell more toys.
Yep. And then you got bat nipples.
And then you start getting that kind of crazy fucking shit. And then... like, okay, so you're telling me I can sell a Batman figure with 7 different colors and kids are going to buy it? Perfect. Let's wait for the next movie. And the next movie, that's when everyone starts bowing out.
Yep.
Val Kilmer's like, no. And then everyone, one by one, it's like I think the director changed too. And everyone's like, I don't know. Maybe Paul Anderson
was it the first 2 was Tim Burton?
It was Tim Burton. I want to say, I'll look it up, but...
I don't know. I could be completely wrong on that.
Batman Forever.
Buy me some time. Wait a second.
I don't need to.
Buy me some time.
Jesus Christ. Joel Schumacher was the third one.
Is he a race car driver?
No.
Okay.
And then Batman and Robin. Maybe it was Joel again. I don't remember. It was Joel Schumacher both times. I felt bad for him. And then Batman and Robin, the toy company came in and said, listen, I don't like the script. There's not enough opportunity for me to sell toys.
The toys.
So now I want Schwarzenegger. I want Schwarzenegger to go from this dark, gloomy character to this bright blue character. And Poison Ivy, bring her in. Okay, she had like that gritty, terrifying character that's killing people. No. We need to have more color. We need to sell. Okay, Clooney, he has to have 3 suits. He has to have 3 suits so we can sell 3 different things.
The nipple suit.
We need the Batmobile, we need the Bat Bike, and we need the Batwing and the Bat Submarine.
Bright Robin
suit. You're getting my point is that when you have these people going... So fast forward back to where I was going to. Because they think they would learn from Spider-Man, because Spider-Man became an argument between Sam Raimi and the company. I don't remember who produced.
Was it Sony?
Maybe it was Sony. It may have been Sony, because Sony wanted all these different villains in one film, and he said, "No, you can't put Venom in here. It doesn't make sense. We've already built the story around Sandman. We don't need Venom." So what they like, nope, we want it. No answers buts. And that's what created the infamous dancing scene. That was Sam Raimi's "fuck you, this is what I want to do." And they had no argument to it. So now fast forward. Now you have the new Justice League.
Wasn't there, just sorry, want to cut you off there. Wasn't there a fourth one written?
There
Raimi
was.
one?
There was supposed to be 5 in total.
Okay.
After the third one, they went, whew.
Wonder what the fourth one would have been if they actually gave.
I think
Raimi
that would have been the Venom one. I think
the Venom
if they would have. Plus, Venom was not a good casting. Not a good casting at all. Fucking asshole from that 70s show who literally has not done anything since. I mean, no offense to him, but I think Tom Hardy, perfect Venom. Even they made it funny, still loved it. But then fast forward back to where we are now. So now you have Exhibit A, Spider-Man, one of the greatest Spider-Man franchises to ever exist. Before, like, gotta keep this in mind, they were the first comic book series, movies, to go a full trilogy, legitimately, with the same crew, same actors, whatever. I know people can say Batman was, but it's not true because they changed
Superman.
actors.
Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that was a movie, and then it's like, oh, this is good. Let's do another one.
Yeah.
Oh, this one was
great.
great.
Didn't
Let's
want
do
to do
another one.
the other ones, though. No one wanted the Quest for Peace.
Quest for Peace?
No one wanted that film.
Fighting Nuclear Man.
Exactly. So, going back to my point, is that
Richard
now
Pryor.
you have Warner Brothers looking at Joss Whedon saying, we need a Marvel movie. Figure it out. So now you have Batman doing these little quips, these little fucking jokes that no one wants to fucking hear. I won't lie to you. When I was in the theater watching Justice League, when
Jason Momoa, all right.
Jason Momoa was badass. He gets a pass in almost everything because he's just a badass guy in general. The whole scene when Superman came back to life and he was standing in front of his monument and he looked at Jason Momoa and he's like, X-raying him. He's looking at me. He's freaking me out. Like, what is this? Aquaman doesn't do that. First off, no one takes Aquaman seriously.
Never.
Until Jason Momoa played him.
That's true.
But then you got Batman. Superman grabs Batman, tosses him, and he lands. He goes, "Oh, something's definitely bleeding." What? Did Batman just make a quip about how he's dying on the inside? No.
Batman does not.
That's where the moment checked out. Because now you've ruined the character for me. Now you've ruined the franchise. Because Warner Brothers was doing that same type of equation that happened in the original Batman films. Is how are we going to sell more toys? We got to make it more to kids. We got to get away from that hard PG-13 rating. We got to try and bring her down as much as we can to get that PG.
Bring it down.
If they could get it to G, they probably would try.
See, I just always think of the DC movies, they always screw up the villain. They always destroy the villain. Massively overpowered at the beginning then no power whatsoever.
Is this counting Chris Nolan or Chris Nolan series or no?
No.
Because Chris Nolan series is not a real Batman series. It's a very realistic Batman series.
Yeah.
But Bane was a Jews head, so that is not realistic. And Ra's al Ghul was living forever. It wasn't just like a sleight of hand type of character. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's where Steppenwolf came into play. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then Cyborg, like, what?
Booyah.
What happened to Green Arrow? That's one thing I never understood about the DC universe. You already had established DC characters and you never used them. You had Stephen Amell as Green Arrow for what? At that point, would have been 5 years. Easily would have did a walk on. The guy that's playing the Flash on TV would have done the same thing. No, we want to make our own. We want to make our own franchise. So we don't have a Flash character anymore because Ezra Miller punched out abroad a couple weeks ago. And we got a little bit crazy.
A little crazy.
So his movie, who got shelved, taken off the shelf, taken off the shelf, killed. That's what it's at now. Okay, good job for you, Ezra. Good job. But now, HBO and AT&T come in and go, you know what? We're going to buy Warner Brothers. To me, I worked for AT&T. I worked for AT&T for almost 20 years. They are a shit company. And for the first time in 20 years, I'm going to go, they're doing something right. I don't know how to react to this. Because I don't know if you've seen the news. We were kind of talking about just before we went on. Is that now people have been rallying now for a year for the Snyder Cut to be released.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that the Snyder Cut wasn't finished. There's a lot of things like CGI wasn't done, or just some scenes that were left out, whatever. AT&T pretty much said, okay, well, we'll think about it. And then Snyder started doing his own campaign a couple months ago, and he did a live watch-along of Man of Steel. Mm-hmm. And then people were asking questions during, like, well, this one and that. He goes, you know what, guys? You're right. I'm going to release the Snyder Cut. I don't care if it's unfinished. I'm just going to release it. You want to see it.
But it's also something that can be completed during a time where you can't really show anything new. So it's something that's already done. It's just putting different touches on it.
Right. So then
it's all part of the gears.
So then Henry Cavill comes back, and that was the biggest thing for the longest time. Henry Cavill has been a topic for the last 2 years. Is he going to stay Superman or not? Mm-hmm. Do you feel Henry Cavill is a good Superman?
Yes.
I think he's an outstanding Superman, short of his nose. His nose is weird.
Okay.
He's got a butt nose.
Well,
he's got a butt
cute
nose.
little button nose.
No, not button.
Butt nose.
Ass
like it
nose.
looks like a bum.
It looks like an ass.
Well, fucking Peter Griffin has nuts for a chin, so it works for him.
But then Henry Cavill comes in during that live viewing, and he's like, I'm totally down. So now you got Zack Snyder.
And Superman.
Yep.
Okay.
And now they're like, do you want to do a second Man of Steel? Absolutely. I would love to. Okay, you got my money. We're doing good. So then, after this watch-along, that's when everyone went crazy again. Started tweeting out, release the Snyder Cut. There was people literally tweeting AT&T every day, release the Snyder Cut. AT&T came back and said, okay. Everyone's like, really? He goes, we'll do one better. We'll give him $30 million to shoot whatever he wants. Okay. I mean, the film probably cost $250 million, maybe $300 million to shoot.
Oh, yeah, but this is for reshoot.
This is for reshooting and cleaning up everything. Like, he's got a cut. But now leads to the new problem. It's 4 hours long.
The movie's 4 hours?
The movie was 4 hours.
The
Snyder Cut is 4 hours. So now HBO, who's now owned by AT&T, which also owns Warner Brothers, you know what they're going to do?
Part 1, Part 2?
Part 3, Part 4, Part 5.
Splitting it into 5?
They're smart move. They're thinking about doing episodic. Since they're going to do reshoots, make it 5 episodes. An hour episode. You know how much traffic will be driven to the HBO Max app?
Totally.
And then people were like, well, if that worked, do you think we can get the final cut of Suicide Squad? So they tweeted AT&T, and they said, one thing at a time, boys.
What would you change in Suicide Squad?
I would give Jared Leto more time first. If I'm going to shit on somebody for their performance, I'd like to see the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't a bad Joker. He wasn't a good Joker. He was a Joker for 5 minutes.
So, when you have a long-lasting relationship, sometimes when that relationship ends, you have a very quick one. So you had this great long relationship with Heath Ledger.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the next Joker? Jared Leto. Everyone's going to compare.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened to Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson.
But it's a different type of Joker.
They're all
different. But between the Jack Nicholson and the Heath Ledger, there was enough time, exactly.
There was definitely enough time.
Generations.
But technically, people can also argue the best Joker of all time is Mark Hamill. But he played a voice.
Yeah, the voice.
Mm-hmm. I think Jared Leto got a really tough shake in that because there was a lot of things. Like,
there was massive shitting constantly going on about DC movies at that time too. So you're looking for something to be mad at.
Well, that's the cool thing.
This fucking guy.
Well, that's the cool thing to do.
Yeah,
is to shit on DC before the movie even comes out. Make your own.
So
opinion
it's cool
on it.
to shit on it, but then if you actually shit on it, you're hated for shitting on it.
That's a problem. Is that it feels like the internet, which is known for doing a lot of stupid things with their own narratives, but have created this narrative that if you're like Marvel, you have to hate DC, and if you like DC, you have to hate Marvel. I like it all. I like Image. I like Dark Horse. I like Source Point. I like Marvel and I like DC. I like them all. Whatever tickles my fancy, I'm going to read it.
If it's a good story and a good production.
I mean, I want to say it was Dark Horse that did one of my favorite comic books as a kid. It was RoboCop versus the Terminator. Fucking badass. Who wouldn't want to read that? The video game was badass when that came out on Super Nintendo. But the point I'm trying to say is that if you like Batman, you have to hate Spider-Man. You have to hate all of that. Why? Why do you have to? I'm a huge Deadpool. I'm a huge Deadpool mark, and a Harley Quinn mark, and a Batman, and a Joker mark. I don't get it. I don't get why there has to be lines in it. And that's the biggest problem, is that at the beginning, if you remember, that people would go on IMDb and they would, in Rotten Tomatoes, and they would purposely dislike it.
Yeah.
To try and
disliking something
same thing
before it's
happened
even come out.
Didn't it happen to Star Wars?
That happened to Captain Marvel.
Well, but
There's
Captain Marvel wasn't that good film. So.
There was a lot of dislike before it even came out.
Well, yeah, that was just people just hating on
Brie Larson. Yeah.
Well, I mean, was she good in the movie? Nah. I mean, I didn't care for it. I mean, it felt like a very cookie cutter to generic superhero film.
That is, I think, there's 2 movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe I've only seen once, and that's one of them.
Yeah,
it was a good movie. Like, I enjoyed it.
I think it was all right,
but I just think there was better.
Wonder Woman was way better. I found myself more intrigued with Wonder Woman than I did Captain Marvel.
Wonder Woman versus Captain Marvel. Wonder Woman blows it out of the water.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, but DC did hit a home run though. They did play the comedic card once, and they did very well. And that was Shazam.
Oh, Shazam.
Aquaman was a great film.
It was okay.
I liked it. See, AJ shits on it, goes, it was a fucking CGI fest. I'm like, what'd you think it was? Do you think they're going to put people underwater without respirators and do conversation in water? Like, what do you...
No, just with Aquaman. Yeah, Jason Momoa is badass.
He is very badass.
He
can do whatever he wants.
Can't stand him as Aquaman.
Really?
Just
Who would you rather cast for Aquaman?
Oh, right. Like...
Who would you cast as Aquaman?
Who would I cast as Aquaman?
Horatio Caine.
No, unfortunately, he's not alive anymore. But Paul Walker.
Oh, I've had a very bad Fast and the Furious joke just hit me right in the side of the head when you said that.
What was it? Save it for another day.
I don't know. I mean, is it too soon? How many years has it been? 5 years?
It's been a long time.
Okay, Google. When did Paul Walker die? I'm checking my conscience.
Paul Walker died on November 30th, 2013.
It's been 7 years. I think we're free.
7 years.
7 years. No, I won't say it.
No,
I'll tell you off the air, though. Okay. You'll giggle, I promise.
Giggle.
The answer is 14 years.
Okay, Google.
Do the math again, Google.
No, don't encourage it.
How did we get that? You said 7 years, but Google just said 14 years.
It's been drinking again.
Sorry, I don't understand, but I found something related.
What? Okay,
Google.
Roblox
is safe for
Google.
7-year-olds?
What the fuck is happening? Okay, Google. Go to sleep.
Go to
Sorry,
sleep.
Power controls is not yet supported.
Go to sleep, Google.
I have turned it off. Dan, do you want Skynet? This is how you get Skynet. Yeah, you know he's tired. It's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning.
Holy shit.
That was good, Dan. That was good.
No, that was funny. Like, did Google say something about roadblocks? Like,
it knows.
All right.
Okay, so anyways, Justice League, Joss Whedon completely changed the ending, completely changed who the villain was, completely changed all the directions of the characters.
Because if he didn't do that, it would just be Zack Snyder's movie.
It would have been, and Warner Brothers wanted it funny.
Yeah.
So AT&T comes in and goes, I will just give them Zack Snyder's cut and now it's like it's going on HBO Max. Brilliant. Mm-hmm. Absolutely brilliant. Because they had do you remember when they launched the DC app last year?
No.
They launched a DC app last year.
Didn't work, did it? No,
because the headliner was Titans and no one used it.
I love Titans.
No, Titans great. Titans is going to do very well. Titans, as soon as it got on Netflix, done. Mm-hmm. Same with Doom Patrol. It's an okay show. I mean, once you watch somebody go up a donkey's ass once, it's something.
Donkey's ass.
Brendan Fraser is a giant robotic man. Swearing is funny. When he swears, I don't take it seriously.
No, I think Titans is great.
Titans is a fantastic show. I just don't think Sir Jerkins, a Mormont, should have been Batman.
No?
Hard pass. That's just me. But anyways, so now, on top of that, we're going to finally get the Zack Snyder. It's obviously in AT&T's best interest. Mm-hmm. Not going to argue that. But now we're going to get a Suicide Squad recut. David Ayer said, hey guys, I got my own cut. You want to see it? Everyone's like, absolutely. Because apparently there's about 20 minutes of Jared Leto footage left on the floor. And now we're going to see it. Because apparently Joker tag teams whoever the original villain is. I don't remember who it is off the top of my head. Because it wasn't whatever that was.
Enchantress.
Whoever Enchantress's brother was, I don't give a shit. Enchantress was never supposed to be the villain either, I guess.
Goldman.
Golem. Not Gollum. Golem. Like a gold golem?
Goldman.
Goldman? Goldfinger.
No, just massively overpowered but gets defeated really easy at the end. That's the villain.
There should have been some type of death.
Let's blow him up from
originally it was
let's
supposed to
blow him up from the bottom.
It was supposed to be a rated R film. But they changed it to PG-13 because they were afraid people weren't going to go. Because they were supposed to be killing people that were crazy.
They sold a lot of merch of Harley Quinn costumes.
We know you exploited it at Fan Expo.
100%. One of my first videos.
One of the worst videos. So that's what I'm saying. So that's pretty much what's going on in the DC world. Nothing really to report in Marvel.
I'm Harley Quinn. Shut up.
I'm Harley Quinn.
I'm sorry. I found Harley Quinn in that movie annoying.
Shut your filthy mouth.
I just did. Sorry.
Don't you talk shit about Margot. Did you watch Birds of Prey?
No.
You should, though.
No, eventually.
It's actually really good.
Eventually I will.
I think Birds of Prey is what Suicide Squad should have been. Like, it had a lot of violence.
I'm nodding on a podcast. Like,
Yeah, can you just not nod? Can you just acknowledge, like, yes, maybe you should.
I agree.
Maybe
I
you should.
disagree.
It's probably on HBO now. Go on the
HBO doesn't play movies anymore.
What?
Just like MTV doesn't play music videos.
What the fuck? I don't know.
HBO is just
I have access to your HBO account, and I never look at it.
It's all shows and... Shh, don't say that.
Okay.
It's all shows and documentaries.
Sorry, Jen. I'm not supposed to know that.
Nothing to do with the Jen. What's to do with the HBO people?
Oh, well, I
don't
mean...
want them to be against you.
Well, I also have access to Amazon, Crave, Netflix, WWE Network.
Yeah, no, HBO doesn't really show movies anymore. MTV doesn't show music videos anymore.
Is Arliss still on
What the
there?
hell happened to VH1?
I remember when they had Much Music Loud, when it was like the metal.
Yeah.
And then Britney Spears was on it. I don't know. No, Much TV and Much Music became reality TV shows because that was the thing.
Yes. I used to love just having music videos on in the background when I'm like cooking and doing stuff. Music videos, I miss it.
No, I just watched Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, Hell's Kitchen.
Who
made the scallops? Yeah.
It's raw!
Oh, fucking Ramsey.
On that note, that's going to be it for this week. We had a lot of good conversations about DC.
What's it stand for?
Detective Comics. Is that what you're looking for?
Detective Comics.
Go ahead.
Okay. Bye-bye.